Hey guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name is Malcolm, and today I'm talking to two exceptional guests. They come from the Off Her Chops podcast on the Premier Streaming Network, season 3. You can go ahead and go stream that yourself. They're inspirational, they're irreplaceable, influential, they're iconic. It's the Iiconics. How are you guys? Cassie Lee, Jesse McKay, how are you guys?
My gosh, what an introduction, sir. We say thank you. We are happy to be here. Thanks for having us. Malcolm. Mal. Can I call you Mal?
Yeah, you call me Mal, sure, that works.
Do people in your personal life call you Mal, or is she making this up?
No, I get called Max sometimes. Usually Malcolm in the middle. I hear a lot. So
Malcolm in the middle, good one.
yeah, I hear that one a good amount. But I mean, how are you guys? I mean, I feel like it's been a while since we've seen you go in like a wrestling sense. It's been about 2 years since you left Impact Wrestling. What have you all been up to?
Have a
Get
baby.
pregnant.
All right, there you go. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's basically what it is. I mean, we stepped away from the ring so that, I mean, for me, I wanted to start my family, which is what I did. And we had other goals that we wanted to pursue in acting. And that's exactly what we've been doing these past 2 years.
Yeah, it flew by. Yeah, it really did not feel like 2 years when we were talking about bringing our podcast back for season 3 off our chops. We sat down and we were like, oh my gosh, it really has been almost 2 years. We have so much to catch the pork chops up on, and we're just different people now. So it's been really fun doing that.
For sure. And like, what can fans expect listening to like season 3 of Offer Chops compared to like a season 1 or 2?
Yeah, so season 3, it's been fun. And I will tell you that, like Jess just said, we are two completely different people. Like we're just in different places in our lives now than we were at the end of season 2. I have a baby, Jess is pregnant. Like that's a huge life changes. But we also have more guests on for season 3, which we're very excited about. Pork Chops love to see kind of like, who our friends are and who we can bring on the podcast. Yeah. So it has been a lot of fun. We have a few like really fun guests that we've actually already recorded with. We're just waiting for them to drop, and we've got a few more lined up, and we're very excited for this season.
That's great. It's great. And congratulations, both of you guys, having a whole family going on. That's great. Congratulations.
It's a great smile, Mel.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And like Cassie, like you're returning to the ring soon at WSW Full Throttle in October. I mean, how's that feel going back into a wrestling ring? A special guest in the corner as well. And
I'm so sorry. I could hear a pitter patter, and I said, "Oh, please don't come in here." And she'll just sit there and stare at me.
That's okay. She could be screaming.
Just woke up, yeah.
I'm super excited to kind of jump back into it, get my feet wet. World Series Wrestling, the full throttle tour.
The full throttle tour.
The full throttle tour. No, I'm really excited to be back. I've had the itch for a little while. I think after giving birth, I was like, okay, like what am I doing professionally now? I love being a stay-at-home mom. It's my favorite thing in the world, but I just need something creative, that I can do as well. So I've had the itch for a while. I've been training at flatbacks for a few months now, and I'm super ready for it. I'm really excited.
For sure. And like looking at like your guys' like time in the WWE, when you guys got called up to the main roster, it was pretty much to end Charlotte Flair's title reign and help assist with Carmella getting the title in the cash in.
Right.
When you guys heard about like you guys coming up to the main roster, what was your reaction knowing like, oh, we're in like this really big spot, we're gonna cost her the belt basically?
So we actually didn't know that was happening. They keep that a little bit hush-hush. So we knew that we were debuting a couple days before, which was good and bad because we could prepare, but we could also freak out for a couple of days. So that was an interesting time. And then we just knew that we were coming out and confronting Charlotte. We didn't know that Carmella was cashing in until her music hit. And I love that. I love that they didn't tell us that, because our reactions were like, oh, yeah, what's going on? Are we out here too long or something? It was just really cool. And that's my favorite cash in so far. I think mixed in with the cash in and our debut, the SmackDown after WrestleMania, that's just so memorable. So it was a lot of fun and definitely a dream come true for us to debut in such a like iconic way.
For sure, for sure. And looking, Billy, at your resume, I mean, the whole resume character was just hilarious. I think it was everyone's favorite part of watching WWE at the time. What kind of stuff do you have listed on that resume nowadays?
Now I actually do have an acting headshot and resume
Yep.
that I legitimately apply for jobs for. So it's actually quite funny that it comes full circle. Gosh, that was such a fun time in my career though. And I'm glad I was able to do that and just kind of have those moments with so many different superstars at the time. But yeah, the headshot and resume is very, very much still alive. And I'm very much hoping that it gets me a job soon.
For sure. Do you have to put like volunteer experience at all? Or is like what kind of stuff do you have on there currently?
Well, for acting, it's just all my credits that I have listed. Shows, films, student films that I've done, and then it's training. Cass and I did an improv course that's on there, which was a lot of fun. Just stuff like that. I'm always looking to add stuff to it as well. So it's been fun.
See, that's like actual skill. A lot of people don't put like Microsoft Word and stuff as like their actual skills in life. That's not a real skill, but acting,
No. My skill
real.
is professional wrestling, which is a good one.
You guys are very good at it too. And like looking at like WWE's YouTube channel currently, one of the most viewed videos, especially your guys' time, was you guys losing the women's tag team titles. That's 5 million views currently. There's a lot, and there's so much that goes on in that reaction to you guys losing the titles. Like Billy, you're like just swinging your arms everywhere, just going nuts. One of you guys untied the referee's shoes, and Peyton, you got really mad at Asuka because she was yelling at you, and you told her to quit the Japanese sister. How much of your guys' promo material was like unscripted or scripted? Because like I feel like that kind of stuff just doesn't just happen on paper.
So we lost the titles, and then ad break, and the referee comes up to us and says, "Go and get a microphone and tell everyone what you're feeling." And we were like, all right, bring the microphone over here. This like literally just happened on the spot. And we were like, mate, we got you. We've got you. And we basically just threw a tantrum for the whole 3-minute ad break. Funny because we didn't know. I mean, I didn't realize that it would kind of be recorded and kind of go up on socials and YouTube and kind of have the longevity that it's had. But I mean, it wasn't fun losing the titles, but it makes me happy that when people think of us losing the titles, something super memorable came of it. For sure. Even if it wasn't on TV,
For sure. And like your guys' title reign currently is like the second longest reigning women's tag team championship reign, 120 days. Looking back at like your current or your reign as champions, what was like your favorite moments holding those titles?
I mean, I'll be completely honest, it has to be when we won them. It has to be WrestleMania. Not many people get a championship match at WrestleMania. Not many people win a championship at WrestleMania. So I think the fact that we were able to tick both off our bucket lists, it just meant a lot. Unfortunately, our reign was kind of kind of all over the place. Unfortunately, that's just how the business is, though. We could have done so much more with that, we felt like. But, we just took every opportunity we got given, and we just tried to make it the best as we can, like the tantrum and everything. I feel like everything that we got thrown at, everything we had thrown at us, we took it and ran with it. And we just wanted to entertain people. And so that's...
mission accomplished for sure. I mean, guys definitely. And like at one point, you guys did break up on television, and recently we saw like the Usos, they broke up at SummerSlam as well. Was that something you guys actually wanted to do at some point, to actually break up and have like your own singles runs, or maybe have a feud of your own, or was it always like to stay together?
So I'll let everyone put the blame on me for that one. I was at a point in my career where I did want to see what I could do. I wanted to challenge myself and see what I was capable of as a singles wrestler. So I didn't put my foot forward. I didn't put my hand up and say, hey, can you please split us up so I can go and be a singles wrestler? It had gotten back to me that someone in creative had seen a singles match of mine and liked the idea. So I said, this is actually something that I've been thinking of lately, and I would like to see what I can do on my own. And then lo and behold, 3 months later, they're splitting us up, putting us on separate brands, and here we go. And it just, it led to being fired, which I don't know if like splitting us up specifically is what led to us being fired, but If I was to go back like into wrestling now, I don't want to go back as a singles wrestler. I would only want to go back with Jess. My passion is in tag team wrestling, and that's where I'm at now.
It's like the future for you guys, like, you know, a little further down the line, obviously, because pregnancies and whatnot. Would it be for you guys to come back into the ring and tag together?
Absolutely. That'd be so much fun. And I think it would be so different as mothers. I think we would have a different perspective. In me, Cass already has a totally different perspective on life in general. So I feel like when I have my son and that perspective changes for me, I also think it'll be interesting our perspective on wrestling and our team. I think that will just evolve to the next level as well. So that's definitely, you know, something that we talk about, and we would love to have another run as a tag team. That's just who we are to our core. You know, Cassie's a star. I've always been her #1 fan, and I'll continue to do that in whatever she does. So yeah, book us, brother.
I'm sure you guys will. I'm sure you guys will. And before we wrap this up, I just want to ask you guys, like, what was the first time you all ever met each other? And like, I just want to know the whole story, you guys coming together.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, it dates back to what, 2005, I would say, is when I started high school, and Miss Jessica McKay here was, what year were you in then? Year 11?
11, yeah.
Yeah. So, and of the whole school, you know, what, we had like 1,500 people at our school or whatever. There was 2 huge wrestling fans, and of course it was the 2 of us. And for some reason, we just didn't like each other because of that. It was like this competitive thing that we had, and we never like really spoke to each other. And then we would kind of like see each other at meet and greets, like in the lineup, and we'd kind of shoot dirty looks at each other. You know, one time Jess was in front of me in the line, and the next meet and greet I was in front of her in the line. And then when I started wrestling training, I started at this specific school because I saw Jess was advertised on the poster. And I was like, yeah, I like her. Why wouldn't I, you know? So I went to the school, and we literally instantly bonded, like best friends straight away. She took me under her wing, big sister, mama type vibe. And our like wrestling journeys were just entwined from there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Where can they find you on social media? They're not already following you guys, and obviously talk about the podcast as well. Where can they find that?
Okay, so we have at Cassie Lee. We have on Instagram and Twitter. Then we have at Jessica McKay on Instagram and Twitter. Then we have at Off Her Chops podcast season 3 at Off Her Chops on Instagram, Twitter, and the old YouTube. And we have producer Snoogs, my husband, who's there for every episode. He's at producer Snoogs on Twitter. And yeah, if you guys want to follow, subscribe, season 3 is going to be a hoot. Episode 2 just dropped, and we've got a bunch of more fun stuff for our pork chops.
Amazing, amazing. Guys, thank you so much for your time. My name is Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory, and we're out.